Hello Dub Nation, it's always a thrill to connect with you, especially as we're about to reveal the latest news that could shape the fate of our beloved Golden State Warriors. But before we dive into this whirlwind of information, let me make a friendly request. Show us some love by clicking the like button to strengthen our bond, and hey, if you are not subscribed yet, join our channel for a thrilling and emotional journey. Don't forget to turn on notifications to stay ahead of the game.
Jimmy Butler sees something beautiful despite loss to Timberwolves. I've been telling everyone this was coming. The Golden State Warriors may have come up short in Game 3 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, falling 102-97 at home, but not everything was doom and gloom. For Jimmy Butler, there was a silver lining, a moment of clarity, even beauty, amid the chaos. Still missing Stephen Curry, the Warriors once again leaned on Butler to carry the load. He did just that, stepping into an alpha role with trademark intensity, despite still nursing an injury from their series against the Rockets. But as the game wore on and fatigue set in, Minnesota's youth and energy began to take over. Yet Butler walked away from the loss with optimism. He called what he saw on the court a beautiful vision, and something he's been quietly predicting all along. That vision? A rising star finally seizing his moment, Jonathan Kuminga. With Curry out and Draymond Green struggling to make an impact, logging just 29 minutes and another forgettable triple-single, the Warriors were in desperate need of a spark. Kuminga delivered. After spending most of the postseason on the fringes of the rotation, he exploded for 30 points in Game 3, showcasing not just athleticism, but confidence and poise that demanded attention. Butler was quick to praise him after the game, calling Kuminga's performance a glimpse of the future he'd been envisioning. Shooting when he's open, attacking the rim, getting to the free throw line, it was a beautiful sight, Butler said. I've been telling everyone, me and him can thrive out there together. I know how to create space, how to make room for him to be aggressive. He continued, I can tell him, when I've got the ball, I need you here cutting moving, and he listens. We talk, we read each other, and then he goes out and plays like that. It was incredible. He did so many things right tonight. I know he's going to be a huge part of us getting that win on Monday. It's a bold endorsement from one of the league's most intense competitors, and it could signal a turning point for Kuminga's career in Golden State. For much of the season and especially the postseason, the 21-year-old has been stuck in a puzzling position, praised in spurts, yet overlooked when it mattered most. Questions swirled about his fit in Steve Kerr's system, and whispers about a possible trade began to surface. But now, with Butler banged up and Curry still unavailable, Kuminga has been thrust into the spotlight, and he's not backing down. Game 3 wasn't just his breakout performance, it was his statement. And Butler's public show of confidence may be exactly what Kuminga needed to silence doubters and prove, once and for all, that he belongs. No, the Warriors didn't walk away with the win. But in many ways, they gained something just as valuable, a new source of hope, and perhaps the key to surviving this series. If Kuminga can replicate this level of play in Game 4 and beyond, it won't just be a redemption arc, it could be the start of a resurgence. The once questioned forward could become undeniable in the eyes of Kerr and central to the Warriors' future. Because as every veteran knows, winning changes everything. And Butler seems convinced that with Kuminga in rhythm, that change is coming sooner than people think. As Game 4 looms, the buzz around Jonathan Kuminga is growing, and not just in the Warriors' locker room. Around the league, scouts and analysts are re-evaluating a player many had written off too soon. Social media erupted after his Game 3 performance, with fans and former players praising his fearlessness, fluidity, and ability to step up when the stakes were highest. NBA insider Shams Charania reported that several teams have already inquired about Kuminga's availability in the offseason, but sources close to Golden State insist the organization is rethinking its long-term stance on the forward. What once looked like a strained relationship is now evolving into something far more promising, especially with Jimmy Butler firmly in Kuminga's corner. He's earned it, Butler told reporters after the game. I see his work, I see the focus. He's got that fire. That's what we need right now. Internally, there's growing momentum behind giving Kuminga a more permanent role, not just as a bench spark, but as a key rotational piece who can ease the scoring load and bring much-needed athleticism and defensive versatility to a Warriors team that has too often relied on aging stars. Head coach Steve Kerr acknowledged Kuminga's impact post-game, saying, "He gave us life out there. He played with confidence, didn't hesitate. That's what we've been looking for." But the implications go beyond one series. If Kuminga continues to deliver, the Warriors may be forced to reimagine their future around him, not just as a fill-in, but as a foundational piece alongside rising stars like Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody. With the dynasty era of Curry, Thompson, and Green winding down, Golden State is at a crossroads. The emergence of Kuminga might just provide the clarity they've been searching for. As for Butler, his leadership has been quietly transformational. While Curry's absence has left a massive void, Butler's gritty no-excuses mentality has kept the team focused and emotionally grounded. Even as his body works through injury, his voice has become a rallying point, not just for veterans, but for younger players still trying to find their place. "He's like a big brother out there," Kuminga said of Butler. "He talks to me during the game, after the game. He's pushing me in the right way." All eyes are now on Game 4. The Warriors can't afford another loss, but with Butler's leadership and Kuminga's breakout, they've rediscovered something more important than momentum: belief. It's no longer just about surviving this series. It's about building a new identity, one forged from adversity, chemistry, and the hunger of players who've waited too long to be heard. The message is clear: the Warriors are not done. And with Kuminga now officially in the spotlight, the Timberwolves might want to be ready for a very different kind of fight. Dwayne Wade sends a clear message to Steve Kerr: "I need that young man." Warriors trail 2-1 without Curry. The Golden State Warriors find themselves on shaky ground as the 2025 NBA playoffs roll on. With Stephen Curry sidelined by a strained left thigh, an injury he sustained during the Warriors' Game 1 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves, Golden State has dropped the last 2 games and now trails the series 2-1 heading into a crucial Game 4. And while there's hope Curry could return soon, the question is whether the Warriors can survive long enough to give him that chance. Right now, Jimmy Butler is doing everything he can to keep the team afloat. He's been the emotional and offensive leader in Curry's absence, but it's not enough. Draymond Green is battling inconsistency and emotional volatility that's once again raising questions about his reliability in high-stakes moments. Meanwhile, head coach Steve Kerr has been scrambling to find answers. In Game 2, he rolled out a rare 14-man rotation, searching for a spark. But let's face it, replacing Curry isn't just about numbers or rotations. It's about finding someone who can create chaos, put pressure on the defense, and make things happen. Enter Dwayne Wade, who's calling for boldness. On his Timeout podcast, the Hall of Famer made a passionate plea for more Jonathan Kuminga, and not just minutes, but a real role. "I get it, it's not easy to pivot without Steph," Wade said. "You don't just change the entire game plan overnight. But we've had a little time now. I need to see something different. I need to see a game plan that features Jimmy Butler and Jonathan Kuminga." Wade didn't hold back, emphasizing what Kuminga brings to the table, something the Timberwolves simply haven't figured out how to stop. "Let's be real," Wade said. "That kid is unguardable when he's in rhythm. I'm not a coach, but I need that young man. You've got to unleash him. Let him play free. Sure, he'll make mistakes, but we'll live with that. Because this young man can give you 30, even 40 on the right night." And Game 3 showed exactly that. Despite the 102-97 loss, Kuminga had a breakout performance, leading the team with 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists in just 36 minutes off the bench. It was his most assertive and mature outing of the postseason, especially notable after sitting out multiple games earlier in the playoffs. More than anything, it showed his readiness. In the absence of Curry, Kuminga stepped up, stayed focused, and proved that he's not just a project, he's a weapon. "I'm giving him my full confidence," Wade added. Now it's on the coaching staff to find a way to build a system around the strengths of Jimmy and Kuminga. Jimmy's not the guy who's going to go one-on-one 10 times in a row. He plays the right way, he moves the ball, he trusts his teammates. That's why you need someone with a different mindset, someone who's fearless. And there's only one guy on that roster who fits the bill. Let the kid go. Let him be who he is. Hopefully Steph gets back soon, but until then, Kuminga has to be the guy. As the Warriors head into a do-or-die Game 4, Kuminga's moment has arrived. With Curry out and the Timberwolves surging behind Anthony Edwards, Golden State needs more than hope. They need production, identity, and urgency. And if Kuminga can rise to the occasion again, this could be his moment, not just to save the season, but to prove to Kerr, the front office, and the entire league that he's no longer waiting his turn. He's ready now. As Game 4 approaches, the noise surrounding Jonathan Kuminga has grown louder, and it's no longer just coming from outside voices. Within the Warriors organization, there's been a shift. What started as a promising bench performance has sparked real conversations among the coaching staff about recentering the offensive game plan around Kuminga, at least until Curry returns. Multiple team sources have indicated that Steve Kerr and his staff spent much of their recent practice sessions evaluating film from Game 3, particularly Kuminga's on-ball decision-making, transition scoring, and ability to create mismatches in a half-court. The results are hard to ignore. His speed, athleticism, and aggression were among the few things that consistently disrupted Minnesota's defensive schemes. Even some of the veterans, including Jimmy Butler, are reportedly advocating behind the scenes for Kuminga to be given more leash. One anonymous player told a team insider, "We can't keep holding him back. He's ready, and we need his fire right now." Opposing teams have noticed, too. Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch, in his post-game remarks, acknowledged that Kuminga had shifted the momentum during stretches of Game 3. "He was a problem," Finch said. "We've got to adjust." He brought a different kind of energy that we hadn't seen from them yet. The shift in narrative is dramatic, and a bit ironic. Just a few weeks ago, Kuminga's future in Golden State looked uncertain. Whispers of a potential off-season trade were growing louder, especially given his limited postseason minutes. But now, those murmurs have quieted. In fact, some league executives now believe Kuminga is playing himself into untouchable status, depending on how the rest of the series unfolds. NBA legend Dwayne Wade's public endorsement only adds to that momentum. His voice carries weight, not just as a respected veteran, but as someone who understands what it means to nurture young talent in pressure-filled environments. And when Wade says, "I need that young man," people listen. Social media has exploded with praise, with hashtags like #FreeKuminga and #UnleashJK trending after Game 3. Fans have flooded comment sections and message boards urging Kerr to let the kid cook. Analysts on major sports networks have echoed the sentiment, pointing out that Kuminga offers something this depleted Warriors team desperately needs: unpredictability and edge. But for Kuminga, the mission remains simple: prove it wasn't a fluke. Prove he can be that guy again. And again. And again. There's now a very real opportunity in front of him, not just to impact this series, but to cement his place as a cornerstone for Golden State's future. If he rises to the occasion, his breakout could mark a turning point in the franchise's transition from the Curry era into whatever comes next. Game 4 could be that moment. Not just for the team's playoff hopes, but for Jonathan Kuminga's ascension from potential to undeniable. Warriors' relentless defense secures Game 1 victory, but can it hold without Steph Curry? What should have been a statement win for Golden State turned into a night of uncertainty. The Warriors opened their Western Conference semifinal series with a hard-fought 99-88 win over the Timberwolves, but lost their heartbeat in the process. Steph Curry exited in the second quarter with what was later diagnosed as a left groin strain. He didn't return, and now the question looms: can the Warriors keep this going without him? Game 1 was a showcase of grit and defensive identity, two things that have become the hallmark of this Golden State team, especially since the arrival of Jimmy Butler. Even without Curry orchestrating the offense, the Warriors managed to suffocate Minnesota's attack, relying on a game plan anchored in discipline, rotations, and a little help from the basketball gods as the Timberwolves missed several open looks. It's no fluke, this defense has been elite. Since Butler's arrival, the Warriors posted the best defensive rating in the league during his 31 regular season appearances, allowing just 109.9 points per 100 possessions, according to Cleaning the Glass. Butler's defensive versatility has injected a new edge into the team's DNA. He fights through screens, disrupts passing lanes, and brings a collective toughness that's contagious. That pride in stopping teams was on full display in Game 1, even after Curry was ruled out. The Warriors held the Timberwolves to just 82.2 points per 100 half-court possessions and limited their transition chances to a mere 11.7% of possessions. Every defensive rotation had purpose, and every switch was deliberate, even if the offense, without Curry, struggled to find rhythm. Golden State's own half-court attack ranked in the 16th percentile, scoring just 83.5 points per 100 possessions, far from pretty. But it was just enough. With Butler and Buddy Hield stepping up late, and the defense holding firm, the Warriors pulled through. At the center of it all, Draymond Green, doing what he's done for a decade, anchoring a defense with unmatched IQ, instincts, and leadership. His matchup with Anthony Edwards, one of the league's most explosive young stars, will be a battle to watch all series. Early in Game 1, The Warriors focused on forcing Edwards to be a passer rather than letting him get downhill. When he did manage to attack the rim, Green was there, walling off space and altering shots. It was textbook Draymond: read, rotate, contest, recover. But how long can they sustain this? As the Timberwolves adjust, Golden State will be tested. They know the Warriors' scheme now. They've seen how Green drops back, how Butler tags rollers, how Podziemski, Kuminga, and Hield handle switches. And they'll adapt. They already started to by the end of Game 1. Jaden McDaniels began attacking closeouts, Naz Reid got clean looks from the top of the arc, and Edwards started manipulating screens to draw Green out of his comfort zone. The Timberwolves are actively working to drag Green out of his preferred help positions, involving him directly in pick and rolls and spacing the floor with shooters who can punish late rotations. It's a smart counter. Remove Green from the back line, and suddenly Golden State's safety net gets a little thinner. That's where coaching adjustments come in. Steve Kerr and his staff may need to get creative, toggling between drop coverage, zone, and switches, sometimes all in the same possession. It's a chess match, and every move now carries higher stakes with Curry's return timeline still uncertain. Can Golden State defend like this consistently without Steph's offensive gravity giving them room to breathe? Can Butler and Hield shoulder enough of the scoring load while young players are thrust into bigger roles? The Warriors will need everything: smart rotations, timely shooting, and maybe even a bit of luck, to survive the next few games. But if there's one thing this group has proven, it's that they believe in the fight. They've built a defensive foundation strong enough to bend without breaking. And if they can buy time, if they can hold on until Curry returns, then this series, and their championship hopes, are far from over. In a remarkable Game 1 victory, the Golden State Warriors overcame the Minnesota Timberwolves 99-88, despite losing their star player, Stephen Curry, to a left hamstring strain in the second quarter. Curry had contributed 13 points in just 13 minutes before exiting the game. His absence raised concerns, but the team rallied together, showcasing a collective effort that extended their playoff road success to 23 Game 1 victories since 2015. Buddy Hield stepped up significantly, leading the team with 24 points, including 5 three-pointers. Jimmy Butler nearly achieved a triple-double, recording 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists, while Draymond Green added 18 points and marked his 1,000th career playoff assist. The Warriors' defense was particularly impressive, holding the Timberwolves to 39.5% shooting and just 5 for 29 from beyond the arc. Despite the victory, the team faces uncertainty regarding Curry's availability for the upcoming games. Head coach Steve Kerr stated that Curry would be considered day-to-day and would undergo an MRI to determine the extent of the injury. The Warriors are preparing as if Curry will not be available for Game 2, scheduled for Thursday in Minneapolis. The Warriors' ability to secure a win without Curry highlights their depth and resilience. However, sustaining this level of performance without their star player will be challenging. The team will need continued strong